Hello Virgos, welcome to your love reading for July 2025. I hope that you are all doing well. We are going to be jumping into it right away. First, I'm going to be pulling some oracle cards just to grab the overall theme and energy surrounding your love life, and then we'll be diving even deeper with tarot. I am all about details and precision, and I really take my time with each reading to bring you as much insight as possible. So, if you are into deep dives and no sugarcoating, then you are in the right place. But enough of me talking, let's get into it. Let's grab the overall theme and energy for my Virgo collective. Prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. So maybe for some of you, you have Taurus in your chart, maybe your person does, but that is not necessary. Something is ahead here. Prosperity lies ahead. I really need to know more about this, but I feel like it's like something is paying off here. For some of you, you may be focused on your finances, particularly this month. Maybe this is your person's energy. And also, Virgo, feel free to swap the roles here. I'm simply reading energies. So, I could be talking about you or your person, but you will know who is who. And that's more applicable once we get into the tarot here. So, one more card. Patience. And, with this earthy, I'm just getting so much earthy energy, but that makes so much sense, Virgo. But there is a need to remain patient here. For some of you, you may be being patient in a particular situation or with this person that you are connecting with. I feel like for some of you, there's like this something going on in the background, and it could have to do with finances. If that is the case, let me know below, or there's something like in the 3D. And I feel like patience is going to be paying off significantly. And if it's not anything financial, right? Or it has to be, or what I'm sensing is something in the 3D, like some sort of physical manifestation of something. And I'm getting goosebumps already. So I feel like that's what it could be for many of you. Okay. And with new moons bring new beginnings. So I feel like there's increased stability coming into a situation. Something has, I'm just sensing like something built over time, potentially. But someone has been patient here. So let's get the tarot out and see what else comes out here. We're going to be taking a look at the current energies, the block, the past, and what has led up to the current situation. We already have the Knight of Pentacles flying out here for the current situation. So something is feeling a bit stuck, stagnant, because when the Knight of Pentacles is upright, he's already taking his time to come in, and it could be some sort of offering, but when it's in the reverse, it's like, this knight in general is the slowest knight in the deck, right? So we've already got slow movement when it's upright, but when it's in the reverse, it's like he's not even moving. So we'll get more into this, but there's a situation that requires patience that may be a bit stuck here. Sorry, a card wanted to fly out, but it didn't. So let's take a look at the block, the past, as I was saying, and what has led up to this situation. Your person's energy, your energy, and then the incoming energies in this situation. Knight of Swords. So there could be some sort of communication or decision that's being blocked at this time. Something was unresolved or left open. We have fixed energy, so Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus. We also have Earth energy, which makes sense, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and some air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Someone was yelling outside. Your person showing up as Temperance. So this is Sagittarius energy. This person could be being very patient, or even maybe taking their time with something. There's moderation, there's healing, but patience. You are showing up as the Fool. This is some beautiful energy despite a little bit of stuck energy here. This is Aquarius energy for me. For some, it's Aries, but this is like some sort of new beginning. This is taking a leap of faith in something. For some of you, this may be kind of going with the flow, okay? Very interesting. Six of Cups for the outcome here. This is beautiful. This is this fun, loving energy. This is something that feels comforting. This could even be something from the past, So if, for example, a situation, and for some of you, maybe something has been put on hold. It may feel like a situation's been thrown on the back burner. That's just for some of you. It's like this could be coming back around to connect in a very fun, innocent way that just makes both parties feel good. We're going to have to clarify this. And actually, what I'm going to go ahead and do here, Virgo, is as I said before, I like my details. I want to get everything out on the table. As a reader, it's just easier for me to clarify everything at once so that I can just see the big picture of everything, to see what's going on. It's just way more fluid. And it really prevents a lot of, me going back and forth about things. So what I'm going to do is I am going to draw all of the clarifiers, pull some oracle cards. I'm going to do it all on camera for you guys, though, just for transparency. And then we are going to dive deep. All right, Virgos, let's get into this. I did draw all of the cards on camera for that transparency. And just so that the table does not get too overwhelming for your eyes or mine, I'm just going to turn some of these cards upside down. And we are going to be diving deep. Just a reminder here, I don't know if I said this in the beginning of the reading, but feel free to swap the roles. I could be talking about you or your person. So for some of you, and I usually read the person down here as your person, and this person up here as who's, watching this video. But feel free to swap it. You could find yourself resonating with the energy down here, and you may feel that your person is being represented by the energy up here. But just to keep it simple, I'm going to read this as your person down here. But let's take a look at, you know what, we're going to start with the past here, okay? Hold on, let me... Is this... Okay. Hold on. Okay, yes. That's here. Okay. So, the primary card that we got is the World. I said before, fixed placements. A Page of Cups upright, Two of Cups, the Hermit, Virgo energy, and the Nine of Cups. So a lot of amazing energy here, Virgo. So I feel like, oh, and the Oracle cards that we got, settling and fresh start. Okay, so I feel that something in your past felt very close to completion. There may have been something that had to be closed out, though, whether this was within a connection or the person that you are connecting with had to close something out in their life. Maybe you did, okay? But it didn't quite get there. Because the world in the reverse simply says that there was some sort of cycle that never fully closed. Maybe you did not get closure on something, okay? This could have been a new person in your life at the time, or this could have been a situation coming back around for some of you. Take what resonates here, okay? But I feel like there was a very deep emotional connection. But the story, in some way, it remained unfinished. The Page of Cups is telling me, and the Two of Cups here, okay? It's like, it just feels like there's so much emotional sincerity, maybe even innocence. You know, for some of you, this connection was full of potential. Like I said, for some, this was a new connection. For others of you, this was a rekindling, you know, a second chance, or at least the hope of one. But either way, I do feel like there was a true, real attempt to open the heart, to meet someone halfway, to see if you two could really build or rebuild something meaningful here. And Virgo, it's like the thing is that this connection was real. It is real. Because the Two of Cups, I mean, when I see this card, I know it's not a major arcana, but it's no joke, okay? Mutual feelings, emotional chemistry, the sense of like, you get me, that feeling of recognition, even. And with the Hermit, maybe some of you even created this like little bubble, like a private world that felt intimate and safe. And also with the Hermit, you know, it wasn't about showing off to the world, but it was like going inward together, reflecting on what you both wanted, even if it was individually. Not only what you wanted from the connection, but it's like with or in life, love, yourself. I feel like there was a lot of positives to this connection, at least in the beginning, okay, at least at this stage. Because this is beautiful energy. And the Nine of Cups, it does tell me that there was emotional fulfillment here. One or both of you may have felt like, you know, this is it. This could be my person. This feels right. And so you may have even imagined or started to imagine like living life together. Okay? And the settling card supports that here. Not settling for less, but settling into something, a future, you know, a vision, a fresh start. For some of you, you know, this could have been a fresh start in your life after, you know, a previous connection, or, you know, getting back out there and dating or exploring a situation, right? Or exploring options, I should say, and finding this person and so forth. For others of you, and this is just for some of you, take what resonates, but if this was someone from the past, okay, that you're rekindling with, it could be that you felt like you were settling, like there's this fresh start, but you're still settling for something, or feeling like you were, like a sense of like compromise, or like, yeah, like settling because there was still something here that wasn't closed out. You know, it wasn't exactly how you really wanted it to be, but there was so much joy and happiness that was coming from this connection that you were willing to settle on that. I'm getting that for some of you, okay? And But yeah, so I'm also getting here before we move on to the present, but you know, this world in the reverse, like for some of you, this could suggest that, things didn't quite evolve into like a full commitment like you may have hoped, like the cycle didn't complete for, a fresh one to get into something more exclusive. Okay, maybe the timing was off, maybe someone wasn't ready, maybe practical realities or emotional fears got in the way. But yes, I feel that for some of you, just for some of you, this connection, it never became official. And for others, it could have felt like a false start, a beautiful beginning that didn't fully materialize in some way. But again, I feel like with this fresh start, this is a very potent card. Okay, it's like even in its imperfections, this connection may have planted a seed. It awakens something within you. And I feel like it made you reflect on what you truly want, what you no longer want, what you're no longer willing to compromise on. And this could be, your person as well. So that's what I'm getting for the past energies. Please let me know if this resonates in the comments. I do read all of them. I would love to hear from you. In the present, the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, the Tower in the reverse, the Hierophant in the reverse, Ten of Pentacles, Spring and Grief. I feel okay. Oh, by the way, Taurus energy here. Taurus energy here and Earth sign Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. I feel that something is stuck right now in this situation. Okay. It's like, but it's not like being suspended in a situation. And right now I'm just reading the energy of the situation, not necessarily where you are at, because you're showing up in at least a more positive energy, which, I'll get to, but it really could feel like it's not like the situation is suspended, but more so like being dragged. I don't know why I'm getting that, but it just feels stagnant. And the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, definitely not an impulsive guy, okay? But it's not moving, okay? It's, this horse is on his back. So it's heavy, it's stagnant energy where things that are moving a little bit, it could just feel like it's just going through the motions, whether it's routines, habits, maybe even conversations, all on repeat. And under that stillness, there's weight, there's grief, like something didn't grow the way that it was supposed to. Okay. For some of you, let me know if you are in communication with this person. I feel like you are, at least to some extent. And if not, then the energy is there where this person is still very much connected to you. And this energy, for some of you, it may trace like back to the springtime here. Maybe something significant shifted around that time. Maybe this is when you met this person. Maybe, someone's birthday is in the spring. You may not be a Virgo sun. Now, there's something with grief that happened back in the spring. Whether, there was some sort of breakdown, job loss, a disconnect. Maybe it wasn't one big event. Maybe it was some sort of like slow realization that things weren't going to bloom the way that you hoped. Because spring is supposed to bring, renewal, but here it's attached to loss or grief. Like, not everything that starts in bloom stays in bloom is what I heard. I just got that for some reason. The thing here is the 10 of Pentacles is here. So and it's upright. So this is the long-term vision. And for some, this could be business, this could be financial, this could be a family, okay? But it is about looking down the line of building something lasting. Maybe there's someone here who's pouring themselves into work, legacy, money, survival, because it's what feels controllable to an extent. It feels safe. But emotional commitment or connection, change, I mean, those feel very like uncertain right now. For some of you, someone here could have a family outside of this connection, or like an ex with kids, or maybe for some of you, you are a third party in this situation. I'm just putting that out there for some of you. And I mean, the Tower and the Hierophant here, it shows this tension. It's the Tower in the reverse with all this other energy feels almost like a pressure cooker that should have kind of exploded by now, but it hasn't. So there's no dramatic blow up, no, total collapse, but something is off and you feel it. Like the structure you're inside, like whatever this is, it no longer fits who you are. And yet, whether this is like physically or energetically, but it's like no one's fully walking away or burning it down either. It's just persisting, quietly misaligned, And the Hierophant reverse really points to this mismatch in values and timing, priorities, maybe even like beliefs, okay? Like maybe this is an unconventional relationship, like I've said before. Whether you are in this like connection or like there's something here where it's like it's about finances, or maybe this person, there's something external here. Like I said, someone else has a family, or someone lost a job, so now they're just kind of like very focused on their career. Like whatever this is, something's misaligned here. And someone's not seeing eye to eye. Maybe you two want different things. Maybe you're just wired differently. And I feel like instead of addressing that head on, it's like both sidestepping the deeper truth, like hoping routine or time will somehow smooth over the cracks. And for some of you, this isn't even about the relationship anymore. It's about you. Your relationship to commitment, to tradition, to the life you maybe thought that you'd have by now, or the way that you thought things would go with this person. So for some of you, with this grief card, it could be like a quiet mourning, and that the grief is not just what was lost, but for what did not materialize. So it's like things are circling itself without shifting. That's what I'm getting here. And more so, on top of all this, if we take a look at the blocked energy here, Knight of Swords, the Emperor, Aries energy, Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Cups upright, conclusion and ascending. So what am I getting with this? I am getting, whoops, I didn't realize. Here we go. It's the block here feels like the energy is there, but it's like it's being either withheld or misdirected. It's like something wants to move forward, to be communicated, to be pursued, but it's not happening in the right way. It could be too cold, too absent. Um, but here it's like the block, like something was not closed out, the world reversed, because this is in the blocked position. So someone could either be clinging to control in some way, playing it safe behind logic and structure with this emperor. Yeah, I feel like there's tension here between action and emotion. Because I'm paying attention to him and he's looking at this logic. And the emperor makes the difficult choices as well, but he, you know, he is not someone that's, all warm-hearted and so forth. I mean, the emperor is someone who's running a kingdom for the most part. So he can't be wearing his heart on his sleeve like the Knight of Cups. And I feel like the opportunity might still be there, but it's not being embraced by this emperor. Maybe someone's afraid to invest. If, like, I'm getting here that if this is like something like a financial or practical issue, someone could be afraid to really move forward because like their finances aren't all together or something. Like maybe they're afraid of some sort of fallout, the vulnerability, the surrender, whatever this is. It's this looking at the air energy, the swords energy of, okay, I'm gonna go with what's logical. Like he's making almost like a decision with his eyes. That's how I'm reading it, instead of offering something emotional or stepping into providing that, even though the opportunity is there. And so I feel like that's the block. It's not like fear, but resistance to letting things end, resolve, or not. It will resolve too because of conclusion, but evolve is what I wanted to say, and rise. Ascend. Because this conclusion card is telling me that something needs to be put to rest and to finally ascend that. But there's some sort of refusal to close a door. And without that closure or closing that door, there is no ascension. Or maybe, you feel like something has been somewhat closed or restricted at this connection, and that is just, it's not being resolved. So you can't ascend from it, right? There's no forward movement. It's like trying to rise while still gripping the weight of what you're supposed to let go of. So whether it's lack of communication, emotional avoidance, staying stuck in logic, or, something like that, there's a block here. And it's holding back the connection, the growth of the connection. And, if you have been waiting for someone to step it up, which I feel like you may have been, to show up differently, to say what needs to be said, this could be your confirmation that they feel it too. They're just struggling to act on it. And we're going to get into why right now. But at some point, I feel like, and you may be feeling this right now, that the silence or the inaction, it becomes its own answer. Wow. So let's get into their energy. If this is resonating for you, please let me know again. Give the video a thumbs up. I just came back to YouTube, so any interaction with this video means the world. It'll really help the algorithm and help get these messages out there too. So, but anyway, Temperance, Three of Pentacles, Seven of Wands in the reverse, Page of Swords. Sagittarian energy. We also got some Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy here. Mask and Dark Night of the Soul. This is pretty wild. It's very clear to me what this is. So, I mean, on the surface, okay, with this Temperance card, this person, maybe they come across calm, maybe even balanced. Like they're keeping it together, flowing, with life and grace and everything's, good. Is Temperance has that vibe. It's composed, even-tempered, cooperative even, patient. It can be a very healing energy. But the truth is that that's not the full picture and not even close. Because behind that is someone who's struggling more than they're letting on. Okay? Much more. And the Mask and Dark Night of the Soul oracle cards, like, this makes it painfully clear that this person is going through something extremely deep that they are not showing. Something that has shaken them, maybe has even broken them inside, and they're not showing it. Not to you, maybe not to others. It's like they're trying to maintain the illusion of normalcy. Maybe you are someone in their life, whether it was in the past or present, who has brought balance to them, Maybe you have been a healing energy for them. But like I said, they're trying to maintain the illusion of normalcy, but there's this quiet unraveling happening beneath. And they might still be showing up with curiosity, conversation with the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, still checking in. Maybe they even, check in on what you're doing, upline, online if you are not in communication with this person. But I feel you are, at least to some extent. And if not, the energy is there, okay? Maybe it's just enough to keep things going, but their energy is not fully present. It's guarded, and I feel like you feel that. And it's not because, this person doesn't care or something like that. There's a sense of being dismantled or overwhelmed. Maybe like even ashamed of how much they don't have it figured out right now. Okay, for some of you, especially earlier, if the message about finances or work like hit home for you, this person could be like silently drowning in that, like struggling with a job or project, or even like a sense of identity that's tied to their productivity. Maybe this person can't find a job. Maybe they feel like they're failing, like they have nothing like solid to stand on at this time. Especially if you're identifying with someone who is all about their work or career, or like I said previously, maybe there was some sort of job loss that occurred. And I feel like, they could be hiding, for some of you, behind some sort of small talk or detachment, because it's like the truth feels too big or maybe even too vulnerable to share. It really depends like where you're at with this connection and so forth. For others of you, it's like it could be an ego thing, but I do feel like there's fears around vulnerability here. And so with the Page of Swords here, I do feel like they're watching, overthinking everything maybe. Like they're aware, they're alert. there's not much action. I mean, yeah, like I said, they could be talking to you, but they definitely feel like they're on shaky grounds here. I'm just getting this, it feels very like vulnerable. It could feel like a bit of like a defeat. Um, yeah, like the Seven of Wands reversed could really be showing that they don't feel like strong enough to fight for something right now. Like things are spiraling or unraveling. And it's like they can't trust their footing here, because if you see here upright, it's like he's standing there, he's planted into the ground and he's defending himself, he's standing for something here, right? But in the reverse, it's like very, very shaky footing here. There could be depletion, spiraling, like I said, maybe even questioning, what they're capable of, like who they are. So, like, if you're wondering, if you feel like you're being like breadcrumbed, or wondering why they're giving so little, why they're not opening up, why maybe things feel vague, um, maybe why everything feels like, or the situation rather feels emotionally unavailable, this is why. And I'm just sensing that this person is trying to survive something quietly, and unfortunately, that silence is starting to echo. It could be becoming this like elephant in the room. So if this person is like telling you that they're fine, but it doesn't sit right, like your intuition is saying like something's going on here or something, or you feel like there's something behind that, trust your instincts, because this person is wearing a mask, and underneath the mask is someone trying to hold themselves together with, like, I don't know. I almost said like an invisible thread. Yeah, yeah, like they don't want to be seen, but they really just need a ton of duct tape, honestly, because it's like this is a rough energy. Like they're hiding their vulnerability here, honestly. That's what I'm really getting. Let's take a look at your energy. The Fool, Aquarius energy. I love this for you. Four of Cups in the reverse, Five of Pentacles in the reverse, King of Cups in the reverse. Your oracle cards that we pulled, Patience and Winter. So right now, you know, before we get into this Fool card, because this is a leap of faith. This is, you know, I love this energy for you, okay? But you may feel like you're in this in between space. You're not quite over this, but I feel like you're not really clinging as much to this either. Like there's a sense that you've pulled your energy back, and I don't think it has anything to do with like bitterness or anything. It's like out of necessity. It's like you've given what you could. Maybe you tried to meet them halfway. You've tried to show up, do your part. But there comes a moment when like holding on just starts to feel like standing still. And I feel like you're ready to move again. And the Fool is allowing you to do that, because it's like you're finally giving yourself permission to move in a direction that feels new. Okay. That doesn't mean that you're over everything, like I said. Like, in fact, the King of Cups in the reverse is telling me that you're probably feeling more than you're letting on, but instead of drowning in it or performing your pain for someone else to notice, or, you know, sinking into a darker place, you've chosen like this own quiet internal shift, like re-engaging with things that make you feel happy. Okay. I'm also getting that, yeah, and I feel like you're re-engaging with things that make you feel happy, whether that's hobbies, interests, and if you may be seeing how you should have done this sooner, or I feel like you're doing things a bit different right now. And you may be letting your emotions exist and accepting them without needing them to be validated. You're just, I feel like there's a sense of liberation here with this Fool. And so, and we'll get into why I'm about to say this with this, Winter card, but there could have been someone here, you could have been someone who was grieving and now making peace with parts that can't be changed. And the 4 and 5 of Cups, or sorry, the 4 of Cups in the reverse and the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse, it tells me that you've been through your stretch of disappointment, of unmet needs, expectations, of wondering if you've asked for too much, when I feel like really you just want something real or reciprocal. Like there's a deep maturity in your energy. Like you're not chasing, you're not begging, you're not clinging, you're not trying to prove your worth to anyone who couldn't see it. So I feel like you're getting back in touch with the parts of you that got buried in all of this, like music, the art, projects, maybe even silence that just feels like yours again, like that quality time with yourself, or just doing like self-care, the things that make you feel truly at home with yourself, like getting back to you. So you're creating space to fill with energy that makes you feel good. So it's like this homecoming, like back to yourself. And with winter, maybe something significant happened in the winter here. Maybe you've been patient since winter. Maybe for some of you, someone has like a winter birthday here, but not necessary. But this card holds meaning because, maybe that's when the shift began, like I said, or maybe it's a reflection of your current emotional state. Like there's a bit of like a chill here, in a sense of like a little emotional frost, but it's not icy in a cruel way. I feel like it's protective, like you've learned how to be patient with yourself and them. And I feel like you've sat with discomfort, and it's like you're letting it lose its power over you. And you might not say everything that you're feeling, and you might not even be ready to here. But I feel like you're choosing you. Okay, there's self-respect. There's no door slamming, there's no outlandish, whoops, just hit the camera. Outlandish like reaction. It just is what it is. And so you're being patient, but it's like this actively, or you're not like actively waiting, like sitting there and just like waiting and putting everything on hold in your life. It's like, no, you're not just actively waiting. Like you're going towards yourself. You're taking this leap of faith. You're bringing positive energy into your life. And you may have tried to bring this person in from out of the cold, or like I said, to try to kind of come together or reignite something here, but it's like this person is only engaging so much. Like this is a very it feels like this energy, it doesn't go deep, of your person here. The energy of this, it's it's surface level, it's moderation, it's I mean, I don't want to say this because I love the Temperance card and so forth, but in this specific scenario, it could come off a bit like a lack of, I'm just gonna say it could be even boring. Okay, like there's not much substance to it at times. This person knows that, I feel like this person also knows that they're on shaky grounds with you, though, with this situation, if you two are in communication. So let's get into the future energies here. So, Six of Cups, the Moon, Pisces, Cancer energy for me. King of Wands, Leo, or maybe it's Leo, but fire energy, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. Three of Cups in the reverse, Four of Wands in the reverse. Now, here's the thing, okay? Big dreams, deception, compromise. This is a lot to unpack, to unload, okay? So there's a pull here. It's soft, it's familiar. It may feel like this person is coming back in, whether it's, you have been in communication, but it feels like it hasn't been as tender lately, or it hasn't been, you haven't felt that energy that makes you feel alive in a while. Or maybe you haven't been in communication, but this is this rekindling, okay? There's a sense of things feeling pretty good here. The Six of Cups is also about nostalgia. It's sweetness, it's those moments that it feels like things make sense. And like I said, there may be a return here, a reconnection, or at least the opportunity to revisit something that still lives in your memory. And the thing is like, this isn't just like memories, though. This is also about what's unresolved, okay? Because next to this very warm and happy, innocent Six of Cups is the Moon. And if I were to pull two cards out of this whole oracle deck to mirror the energy of the moon, okay, or to describe the energy of the moon, or identicals, big dreams, very Neptune energy here, and deception, because there can be illusions here and confusion. Now, don't jump to conclusions. Let me explain here, okay? So the moon doesn't lie, but it conceals, okay? So this outcome, it carries emotion, but it carries uncertainty too, confusion, even some projection. So there is a risk here of mistaking potential for promise, or seeing someone spark and ignoring the red flags or the shadows that are casted here, okay? The thing is that I feel like you don't see this coming. And don't make assumptions. This may not be for everyone. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Not all of these messages may be for you, but this could be information that, just connect with your intuition here and see what resonates, and don't make assumptions, but rather maybe put this information in your back pocket, and you may connect with that when the time comes, when it's right. You will get that hint of intuition or spark, but don't assume that this is, what's going to happen. And what I'm going to do for you is we're going to do something fun to even make this more personal for you in a second. Okay. But the King of Wands tells me that, someone may step up, may take the lead, may make a move, because this is not passive energy, and you may not see this coming. Okay. It's confident, it's bold, maybe even a little bit charming. But here's the thing, even with good intention, this person may only be able to offer so much. And if you're not grounded, you could find yourself swept up into something that feels big but doesn't hold up under real world weight. Okay? the Three of Cups reverse and the Four of Wands reverse, I mean, this is very loud for me. Okay. So there may be the sense of togetherness, of celebration, shared joy, but the foundation isn't solid. Okay. I don't think that this person is coming in trying to purposely hurt you. Like, I don't see malicious intent here. I feel like there's more so this is about the objective disconnect between what's said and what's real. And that's where the deception comes in, okay? I don't feel like it's necessarily lying, but it could be misleading, like even if it's unintentional. Someone promising more than they can give, or you holding on to a dream that requires a version of this person that they haven't become yet. And for some of you, this is just for some of you, and you have to use your discernment here, okay? But if you are dealing with a third party situation and you are the third party, okay, or any general third party situation, I guess, this is your warning. And I know that sounded harsh, but this is like me saying, hey, like, pay attention here, okay? Or possibly like, if you don't even need to be the third party here. I'm just going to leave it at any sort of third party situation. Now, it doesn't even need to be romantic. Person, place, thing, concept, idea. Like I said, maybe this person's so like deep in work, you know what I mean? But what I'm getting is that, and this is just an example, if they say that they're going to stop doing that thing, if they're going to, you know, stop staying so late at work and stressing out so much about work, or that they'll make more time, or if someone's saying that they're going to leave another person, or they're saying that they're going to do XYZ, or something here with them trying to compromise or trying to get on the same page with you, okay? Challenge it and tread carefully, because people can be in pain, people can be conflicted, but that doesn't mean that they're free, okay? So don't let hope and fantasy and words cloud your judgment. Challenge whatever this person is saying and ask, how do I know that this is real? Like, because love should never feel like a negotiation where you're always the one compromising. Now, sometimes compromise is definitely necessary, but you need, like, don't get swept up in the illusions and maybe even the emotions, okay, of what this is. Oh my gosh, it feels good. Like, you have to bring yourself back down, ground yourself, and look at the logical aspects of it. And ask yourself certain things that maybe in the future you would have been like, oh, I wish I would have asked those questions, or I wish I would have challenged whatever this person is maybe agreeing on, or, uh, willing to compromise on, or promising, or something like that, okay? And I'm not saying that this outcome is all doom and gloom, okay? It's not about doom, it's about discernment. It's like you can have compassion and clarity at the same time. And maybe if you just have that conversation here where you don't have to challenge it in like a rude or a mean way, but just, you can still do that in a loving way. But be like the Empress, don't take anyone's garbage. Like, stand in your power here and know your worth. And if anyone has any issues with you questioning things, that's a red flag. Okay, if you just have questions, or you want to talk things out, or you want more clarity, that's a red flag if they have an issue with that, okay? So, as I said, you can still have compassion and clarity at the same time as being discerning. And, you can hold the memory without letting it rewrite the entire, present. So, yes, someone may return, or you may have this rekindling moment and something may resurface, but just because it feels familiar, like, don't get swept up in that. Ask questions. Don't get wrapped up in it unless it comes with truth, action, and alignment, not just words. Like, things need to line up. Okay. That's what I'm getting. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do something fun. We're going to do a very, very quick and simple pick a card. All you have to do is pick numbers 1, 2, or 3. Don't overthink it. If you don't know what a pick a card is, don't even worry about it. Just choose a number that comes to your mind first, that you're most drawn to. Maybe you have a favorite number, but 1, 2, or 3. If you cannot choose, or you're just like, I really don't like pick a cards, the default number will be number 1, so you don't even need to choose. But we're going to be getting more information for you about this outcome here. Okay, what we just talked about with the Six of Cups, the moon, all this other stuff. Okay, and we're going to get a message from your person too. So if you chose 1, this is your card. Self-worth. Know your worth here. Step into that message from them. My anxiety is through the roof. So this person may be afraid to come forward, or they know they're really on shaky grounds. They could be realizing that you know your worth. They could be feeling like you're kind of detaching here, that you've gone a bit cold. That's what I'm really getting here. Especially in, like, yeah, if you're someone who's just not going to believe every word that they say, that could, it's like, wow, I have to show up. I need to show proof. I need to, because trust could very well be broken here, Okay, so if you chose number 2, this card is for you. Divine timing. Yeah, this is going to happen in divine timing. Allow things to play out as they need to. I want to know where you stand. So yeah, this person may approach you. They may want to know where you stand in this connection. This may be for someone who, like, you haven't really heard from this person, or like a conversation is just way overdue, at least like a more serious one. In divine timing, this person's going to ask where you stand on this situation. That's what I'm really getting. Okay, so pile 3. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take it, because my thing is, like, if it flies out and I see it, I take it. Divine feminine, inner child admired. So you are in this divine feminine energy. I want a fresh start. Makes sense with inner child. I feel like this person, especially with this 6 of Cups, it's like this very, like, innocent, childlike energy. So, I mean, and this could be you and your power, or this could be saying that maybe this person is the divine feminine, take what resonates here. But there is, like, this receptive energy, but it's like connecting with this, like, it could be the past, or this, like, this sense of rekindling this inner child, and just, they could be admiring you. We'll pull one actual card here for group 3. Abandoned. So yeah, this person could have abandoned the situation, but they're going to want a fresh start here. They may be admiring you from afar. This person could have been childish too, but I feel like it's like they want a fresh start. They want to step into more of, like, this, like, innocent energy, but not like the bad kind, like the, naive kind, more of like the playful energy. But that's what I'm really getting. We're gonna close this out with some very quick advice. This has been quite a long reading. So, if this resonated with you, if you got this far, please give me a thumbs up, this video, comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, I read all my comments. I would love to hear from you. Let me know which pile you chose here if you did do this. And let me know what you think of this, if I should keep doing this for each reading, if you enjoyed that. So advice. Redacted in the reverse. codependency, growth, healing in the reverse. So what I'm getting here is now, Virgo, it's time. And this advice may only be for some of you, so again, take what resonates, but stop waiting for someone else to give you closure, clarity, validation, okay? Whatever has been hidden, whether it's the truth about their intentions, their feelings, what they're going to do, what they say they're going to do, or, your own role in this dynamic, whatever this is, it's rising to the surface for a reason. Don't ignore what you already know deep down. Okay? I'm just getting that this situation is asking you to get radically honest with yourself. Like, where have you been overextending? Where have you mistaken emotional intensity or longing for connection? Because codependency doesn't always, look like obsession. I know that that's, you know, they really, in movies or books or online, they really, really over dramatize that. Codependency can look like silence, sacrifice, like waiting for someone else to choose you. And you're being asked to choose yourself. Okay, so stop trying to manage their emotions, their distance, their inconsistencies, and focus on stabilizing your own foundation. I see that you're already doing that. Okay. And I feel like for many of you, you may be even practicing the law of detachment. And that's going to do a lot of good for you. Okay. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. But it's definitely incredible ways to manifest things. There's a lot more to it, but that's for another time. But anyway, choose yourself. Okay. That means setting firmer boundaries, disrupting your own patterns, and doing the kind of growth that doesn't need to be seen or applauded, just felt. Okay. I feel like for many of you, you're not looking for validation or anything like that. That's just not a Virgo thing. But I'm saying that because you have been doing that internal work. And for some of you, maybe you do need to hear that, but I feel like for 99% of you, the validation thing does not apply to you. But healing in the reverse here says if the same wound keeps getting reopened, it's not just about the other person anymore. It's about what maybe you're still allowing, whether that's externally or internally, because it's going to be pointing to areas that it's time to do your own shadow work on. It's time to look within, because you don't need to fix them. Because Virgos, I have Virgo in my chart, but Virgos love to help others, to be there for them. But you need to notice where you keep giving your power away and then call it back. Okay? So you don't need all the answers here. You just need to stop betraying your own voice and let that be your starting point, and everything else will follow. And I feel like for many of you, you are already doing that, and that's a confirmation to keep be in this full energy, rediscover your passions, your interests, your hobbies, learn from past mistakes. You know what I mean? Even if you feel emotionally like right now, you may be feeling a lot more than you show. That's okay. You're doing the work. You're connecting with yourself deep down. Just don't be avoiding things. When they come up, work through them in a healthy way. But yeah, Virgo, that is what I have for you for now. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out your other signs, the readings for your other signs, because they may give an additional perspective or, another angle to all of this that's going on. But yeah, that is what I have for you. I love you all, and I will see you next time. Bye.